What on earth is that? It's a Journey into Comics Network production! All aboard!
I brought my pencil. What do you wanna do with your life? Walk on home, boy. Yeah. Like anything gets to say like you did before. Make it ring, make it bleed, make it really.
Howdy, y'all, and welcome to another episode of Rank 'em All, Between the Buried and Me edition. I'm your host, Nick Maxon, sitting here in the Dudio with my bros. I've got Dr. Dongo over here. How are you doing today, cowboy?
I'm doing great.
I had no idea where I was going with that up until the very moment it came out of my mouth.
Well, shucks.
Well, it did turn out pretty splendid, if I do say so myself, mother brother.
Maybe we should try to do an entire episode like this.
We just embody
Please,
the
God.
redneck overlord.
Please, God, no.
There it is. Yeah, I don't think people would tune in. Maybe we'll save that for a special episode. Anyway, Dr. Dongo, favorite superhero?
Favorite superhero? That's tough.
I know. You got to pick one quick, though.
Ooh.
It's a quick thing.
Where'd you want to go?
You know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say.
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that.
You're not going to say Deadpool?
I'm not going to say Deadpool because he's not a hero.
He's not.
He's not a
fucking
superhero.
loser.
He's an anti-hero, technically.
He's an anti-hero. Oh, fuck. I'll just be fucking generic and say Captain America.
There we go.
Why not? There's too many that I fucking love. That's the thing.
True.
Especially with the MCU.
They've definitely gotten. It'd be interesting to see some kind of number of like how many people have become interested in Marvel because of the movies. So I didn't read the comics.
I'm changing my answer. It's Thor.
Thor.
Chris Hemsworth's Thor.
He is.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. Like, I love his character development through all of them, especially Fat Thor.
Oh, I mean, even when he's not being like he can be serious and he can be totally off the wall. Like he's not going off the script whatsoever.
He's
All right,
just,
we could easily, guys. I hate to do it, but we could easily talk about this for way longer than we need to.
We
You're
could.
correct. You started this.
I did start it. Chris, I'm gonna need to know your favorite kind of cereal.
It's not Cinnamon Toast Crunch. is it?
Probably not Cinnamon Toast Crunch anymore.
Cap'n Crunch.
Cap'n Crunch
Yep.
with
Cap'n
the
Crunch.
berries.
Nope.
Oops. all berries.
Original
Shrimp.
Cap'n Crunch.
Oh.
That's the good stuff. That should cut your
Dude.
mouth up.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it
it
does.
does.
Oh my
but you know
God.
it's still worth it every bite.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like hands down.
For sure. Zach Davidson.
Hello.
He's here with us.
I'm here.
What's your liquor of choice?
Liquor of choice. That's interesting, as I don't really gravitate towards liquor. Bourbon,
Not for
whiskey.
any female.
Bourbon, whiskey.
Oh.
Are bourbon and whiskey the same thing?
Not liquor.
No, they're a little different. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but there's a difference.
There's people cringing right now. Like, oh my God, Nick is an idiot.
One.
No one's piping in.
It's
so we
all,
don't
it's
need
all
to.
about like it's like either grain or corn, something like
Yeah.
that, and it also like bourbon can only
The
come
distillation
from
process.
yeah, bourbon
like-
can only come
Yeah.
from Kentucky. As far as like the water from Kentucky.
Interesting. We've also got Brett here. Brett Maxwell. How you doing?
Hello, I'm good.
Let's see. Who's your favorite of the big four? Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, or Anthrax?
That one's hard. It would be a toss up between Metallica and Slayer. I think I would have to go Slayer though. It gives me more of the riffage I want, and I know you don't like his soloing style, but
I don't. I'm not convinced he knows how to play guitar.
he just goes up there and just wings
I like
it.
Hanneman's soloing. I don't like Kerry King's soloing.
That's who I mean. I mean
Yeah,
Kerry King.
Yeah.
Kerry King's just he's overrated.
I grew up on Metallica, so Metallica to me was that one like, oh, this is my dad's music, and then I hear Slayer, and I'm like, my dad would fucking hate this, and I love it.
Fucking
I,
rebel.
I think Slayer has just a higher rung of if I had one of the two in my hand to pick from, it'd be Slayer.
Good choice. All right. So welcome everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We are working our way through Between the Buried and Me's discography. Last time we went over part 1 of their Parallax suite, as they referred to it, or at least what fucking Wikipedia said. We did Hypersleep Dialogues last time. This time we are diving into Future Sequence. An absolute behemoth of an album, 72 minutes.
It's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It really, really is. It's
a
very well
roller
paced.
There's
coaster
just
of an
so
album,
much
dude.
there.
It is 17 minutes. Just fucking. It's a long one. They got some short songs. They've got if it's not like under 2 minutes, it's probably 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. No in between.
Which I didn't actually realize. Like we've kind of talked about before with once they get into these once you hit about colors where they just kind of all their songs could easily blend together. There's
Right.
times where I would be like, oh, I know this song is from this album, but I don't actually know what song it is
Right.
because I hadn't looked into it that hard. They got a lot of that with this. There's really no stop, beginning to end. It all sounds pretty cohesive.
Yeah, I was just sitting there thinking about. I was listening to it yesterday actually while I was laying floors, and as it's going through, I was just totally. At one point, I'm just totally lost within the whole album. Where I'm like, I don't even know where I'm at right now, and then it ended.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, okay, I was there. I mean, just the way
it's-
they all blend, though.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
This was released in 2012. It's their 6th studio album. They are back with Jamie King. They recorded it with him, and he and Jamie mixed and mastered it. 12 tracks. Continuing the Parallax story with Prospect 1 and 2 and the Night Owls.
And a couple new characters as well.
Because why the fuck not?
Only two more added. There's a character known as the Black Mask,
And there's
And
there's a box.
and then there's the wife
Yeah.
or the lover,
Yes. There's a
then the sea creatures,
I thought you
The-
said 2, Dick. You just
the
listed 3.
Sea Queen.
the sea
Sea
queen.
will bring back life. I love where I was reading through an explanation, and everyone's like, "I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Like, where does this take place? Who fucking?
It takes place during swim to the moon.
Maybe
That's when it takes place.
it's. Oh yeah, because
It's-
okay, so he starts out saying he's like, "I don't know what the fuck's going on here," and then Tommy said in an interview like, "Yeah, this is right before he pops up on his island. Is that what it is?"
Yeah, it's during swim to the moon.
I was making that comment to Brett the other day. I'm like, that is such a weird fucking song.
It's a wacky ass song.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
What was it? Underwater Boogaloo.
Yeah. Deep stop, skibbity doo, tap your toes. I don't know. All right, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
Parallax, Part 2, feature sequence. First track, Goodbye to Everything. It's a pretty good intro to the album. It's nice and soft.
Yeah.
Some pretty guitars, some pretty vocals. It's chronologically with the story. It's the end, so they're giving away the game immediately.
Right.
This shit ain't gonna go well. To be expected. It's real short. Do we have a time on it?
Minute and a half or something, isn't it?
It's really, really short. There's not a whole lot there for me. I could easily just skip it. I think it's one of the first like intros that I could do without.
Really?
Yeah.
Does anyone have any? I mean,
If I'm going to listen to the album, there's no reason I'm gonna skip it.
No.
Yeah. That's kind of-
I like the light guitar strumming to come in, Tommy's voice, and the way it blends into the next song. Like
it is perfect in the context of yes, the album, but it's not. I guess I was just saying it's not like. It's not
if I'm listening to a random playlist and the song comes up, like if I'm listening to a like I said, like a shuffled playlist and this song pops up, like my phone's in my hand, yeah, I might skip it just because it would make me want to listen. It would make me want to listen to the whole album.
If you're not playing Astral Body after it, it's not.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it bleeds into Astral
In
Body
that sense,
perfectly.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I gave it a 6.5. But you guys know the way we all rank a little differently. I rank it as kind of a what I like. What am I gonna go listen to first?
Oh.
So yeah, I'm not gonna go listen to this just for the hell of it.
And I'm just a little bit less than you on that with a 6.25.
I really like this song. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5
Okay.
in terms of it's not a full song, so I don't want to.
No, it's an intro.
I don't really want to go too far above my baseline, but I like it. I love the strumming, like you said. I love Tommy's voice in this, and I love singing along to it. It's just
It is very nice and melodic.
it's a very peaceful entry.
To what is a pretty. There's a lot of pretty brutal parts in this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, and just leading into Astral Body coming up next.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love how it just transitions, and then that guitar part right into Astral Body, which I guess we're getting into Astral Body now after we're ranking.
Right. Let's rank this real quick before we make the full transition. So I got a lot to say about Astral Body.
Oh yeah.
Zach.
I give it a 6. The only thing I really appreciated, I like the soft melodic opening, but the transition to Astral Body is the icing on the cake for me.
Absolutely. Brett.
I'm going to go with an even 7.
Cool.
I feel that I understand where the intro needs to be for this whole album, and I'm looking at the whole album as a whole. So as that intro to the album, yeah, it's solid.
I think it could be one song with Astral Body.
It
I
could.
agree.
Mhm.
I do agree.
And I think it would make me like both songs more, which is weird.
So like the transition between like when it's like fading into Astral Body, it's almost like it honestly makes me feel like it's a movie.
Yes,
How
you're
like
dri- you're
you're
dipped in.
starting at the beginning,
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
end of the movie at the beginning of the movie, and then it's just like, all right, now we're drifting off back to the beginning. It's so cool. It's such a cool feeling.
Kind of like I touched on with Lunar Wilderness, how the title makes you feel like you're there, like that's what
Right.
you're experiencing. That opening riff of Astral Body makes me feel like I'm blasting up into space. Like you feel it. It's
You feel that
opening riff.
disconnection. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's
disconnection
so
from
good.
reality for a half second.
Yeah. And they may also get credit because they came out with a really cool video for Astral Body.
Yes.
And it was a magical time to be a BT Bam fan because this was, you already knew that this was going to be the next part of this big concept. And then Astral Body, that is like a single that comes out. And you see this video and you're like, this is going to be the best fucking album I've ever heard. And it lived up to quite a bit of the hype. What did I say about Astral Body? Not much. I didn't give very many notes on it because I guess I've just listened to it a million times and I fucking love it. There's some super cool. He does some really cool vocal things. That those themes melodically are brought up several times throughout the album, and I think Astral Body's got a couple callbacks to part 1. Where is it? The I Am Listening at the end. It's got melodic callbacks.
Yeah, this is all Prospect 2.
It's really cool. I gave it a 8.9. I treated Astral Body really well. Anyone feel free to chime in.
This used to be hi Dick here. This used to be like one of my favorites, but as I've gone on to listen to this album, it's kind of fallen back a little bit. But I love the guitar intro. I love when the vocals kick in. There's kind of like a very split second silence, and then it's just an explosion of all the music, all the composition and lyrics and vocals.
It's massive. When Tommy comes in with the heavy, it's the first heavy vocal of the album, and it's massive.
And this is Prospect 2. I guess still kind of sleeping, but he's in this.
He's in hypersleep.
He's in hypersleep, but he's in his astral body. He's on the astral plane, peering upon himself and everything, and having all these thoughts within that existence, and it's cool. It's cool. I give this song let's go with a 9. Yeah, 9.
Ooh.
Little shake there.
Because I was borderline going 9.5, but I'm gonna go with 9.
All right, Chris, what do you think?
That's actually where I said it's a 9.5. Agree with everything that's being said right now. I mean, I don't know what else I could really add into it.
I don't think I'd call it a banger. It's not quite a banger, but
It's not quite a banger.
It's a solid fucking song.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a solid 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes. This is one that you can go through, Dick. Like the last session we had, you talked about the fact that this is the first time you had gone into like 8,
Yeah,
9,
this is a
10
little more
minute long
palatable.
songs. This could be
Musically
this is
and
one of those ones, yeah, this is
lengthwise.
one of those ones. If you want to go through and just listen to a very, very good song and it just be
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple minutes long, like this is the one.
Yeah, it's extremely palatable, both musically and lengthwise.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I'm
That's,
gonna go with an even 9. I'm gonna go
Even
with
nine?
even 9 on this one.
It's a good one.
It really is.
I liked it. I liked how in the beginning, after the transition, I felt like it kept getting better the entire time. Like there's more layers, just layers and layers, and then right around like 3 minutes 40 seconds, it just fucking slaps. it just lays it down.
Yes.
With that said, I'm gonna give it an 8.
An 8.
there's just this
That's my
nice
favorite.
positive vibe about it.
It
I don't know.
is.
It's
It
uplifting.
absolutely-
Yeah.
Like you
Yes.
said, it's like you're taking the rocket up into
Yep.
space, but it's uplifting and
Yeah.
it's so joyous.
It's the like I said, I described this album as a entire roller coaster. This is you just click going up the roller coaster, and then it's got the ones that have like that weird one where like you feel like you're gonna drop but you don't, and you just go around this nice little bend and you just see the drop looming, and then there's Lay Your Ghost to Rest.
Yes, that's the perfect.
So
Yes.
that
Perfect
is exactly
segue.
Good
how
analogy.
this
Yeah.
Goodbye to Everything is when you are getting onto the roller coaster car and you're waving goodbye to your family members that are too chicken
You're
to get
getting
on the actual
strapped
roller
in.
coaster. Astral Body, that's
me.
you. You don't like roller coasters?
I don't like rides in general. I just
Okay.
not to fucking get out of this,
Yeah.
but
But then, Astral Bodies, you just click it up ever so slowly, and then Lay Your Ghost to Rest just drops you. And then it's just the adrenaline rush of just how long is Astral or Lay Your Ghost to Rest?
It's like 10 minutes long.
10,
10 or 11.
10 or 11.
it's beefy.
10 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
My first note is this is, to use Zach's term again, this is what a unit is. This song has everything. It is relentless, but also it still has those ebbs and flows where it gets softer. But it comes in hard as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
It jumps into some of the stuff Tommy does vocally on this one is just you got the almost carnival-esque part right there in the beginning, the Will It Be Found,
Yep.
which is one of my favorite things they've ever done. That sequence there with Paul's guitar work, I believe it's Paul. That solo that happens right in there, it is it's fucking wonderful. Another note I made, God Felt So Much Better Before the Mirror Glimpse is one of it has so much to do with the story, and the way he says it is so fucking cool. Pretty much saying, because this is Prospect 2, I believe, and he's saying he's like, God, life was so much better before I realized what the fuck I was about to get myself into.
Right.
Yeah.
I wake to my own whimper when it slows back down. Boom,
I
boom, boom,
wake to my own
It's
whimper.
it's so fucking good. Then we get another fucking guitar solo.
Oh yeah, that one's tasty.
It's incredibly fucking tasty. I absolutely fucking love this song. Anyone else want to jump in?
Like how they mentioned, is the first mention of the Night Owls in this album?
I don't think it is. I think that's a little later. But
This is where we start the mutilation.
yeah, a lot of it. And it's also talking about the letter he left behind for his love. And he's worried it won't get to her and she won't know why he left. Because he
Oh, this
apparently
one?
just left abruptly, didn't give anybody any explanation, just left to go on this mission that he's been given.
This has the cut until all that is left is new material.
Yeah.
Myself, day in, day out.
And I
That
love
is-
when he's singing that.
It's fucking magical. Jumps into the crusty-eyed symphony, waking by the grunts and moans. Why do I do this to myself? Oh my god, it's so good.
My mistake, Zach. This is the introduction of the Night Owls. I see that now.
Or at least like the first mention of it.
when they're bringing in folder 502, it's
The precaution document.
the failsafe way back home. Should I end it right here and now? And it says, in parentheses, written in a language I can understand, my brilliance seems questions with these instructions. Fairly obvious for precaution documents, I suppose. The night owls, in quotes, always send me back. Seems to be in their DNA. Fade out.
This has the weak souls, weak mind part too. Man,
Yeah.
like I
So
said,
powerful.
It's great.
it's like I said, we didn't write many notes about it. I knew we'd hit the lyrics, and just going through the lyrics, I'm just like, there's so many definitive parts of it that are like, this is so much of the meat of the album for me. This is such a fucking a gut punch.
My favorite part of the song is the right after the bass part, and then Tommy the end starts now, and then it's like,
I
That
love
really is fucking good.
yeah, that's
We watched the live DVD, and dude, just them playing it in the studio when they hit that part, it was fucking electric. It was that you were just. It feels like back to the fucking the roller coaster analogy. Like this song takes you. This has the loops. This has the hard turns. But then you get back
you got
to
your corkscrews.
when you get back to the final cut into all that's left. It's soaring. It's such a fucking high point, and you're like, this is song 3 of 12.
Yeah.
And I'm exhausted because how
that
fucking
part-
awesome
That
it was.
part's like
Right.
when you're stuck in limbo on one of the loops and like you're not quite touching the seat and not quite falling all the way onto the arm bar because like the G-force is just held on perfectly to you. Like, I love this song completely. Everything about it is fucking amazing.
It's one of my absolute favorites. I gave it a 10.
I'm a 10. I might as well jump over to me. Solid 10.
Well, you heard him. Not for me though. I would give it a 9.5 though.
9.5.
9.5 is nice and healthy.
It absolutely is. What do you think, Dick?
9.8.
Ooh,
Oh.
Almost there.
it's got a lot of goods. Lots of sauce.
Personally, it's there for me.
It's there for you.
10.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so it's not said in the millions of fucking notes I've read about this album. There's several definitive. To me, there's different parts, and Later Goes to Rest to me is like the end of the first sequence of the
Right.
album. So
Okay,
next
yeah.
we get Autumn. It's an instrumental. It's real short. It's a lot of noise.
Yeah.
When I say that, I mean like
It's computer noises.
computer noises and shit.
It's the ship.
Yeah,
That's what I'm guessing.
It's the
It
hypersleep
makes you feel like
vessel.
you're on a ship with one person's awake and everyone else is still in that sleep mode. So all you have around you is the computers and everything else going off. Kind of like made me
Little
feel
weird
like
noises.
like almost a like a hospital room. Like you had all of
Okay.
your you had all of your EKGs or everything else around you, like monitoring you while you're asleep, and that's your that's what he's hearing before, like as he's waking up out of this sleep. So he's hearing his stuff go off, and at the very end, it's starting to get more and more hectic. Like alarms are almost going off, like, "Hey, something's not right here," and then you get into extremify.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely some hectic synthesized computer noises of such.
Yeah.
So what would you say you would rank this?
It's a 6 because
Yeah.
it's definitely
'Cause
that
there's-
quick little intro. I'd give it a 6.5. I'd give it a 6.5 because it definitely to me is part of Extremophile Elite.
Yeah.
So I would say 6.5.
I give it a 6.6. It's cool. What did I think of? Think of like the primer, no, not the primer.
Yeah.
Medicine Wheel,
Oh,
or like
yeah.
or like Breathe In, Breathe Out. Those were instrumentals.
Yeah, but
Those were 6 fuck.
they weren't computer noises, and you can actually feel them.
Yep, that's why I gave it a 6.6. It's a good. I
It's
I
less
like it. I like
girthy.
it for the purpose of pacing. I like it
Mhm.
after
Right.
Layer Goes to Rest, give you a little like breather before you get into another fucking slapper.
Banger.
Dick, what did you say about Autumn?
I don't know what to rank this because I don't want to drag the album score down just because of an instrumental or it's what would be an instrumental.
Interesting point.
But I mean, I there's not much I can say or love about it, so it's like middle of the line. I'm gonna have to go like 5 or 6. Like Let's go 6,
All right.
just to keep it up a little bit.
Yep. We'll do some notes. It's a good idea. We'll do some notes on this one. Like, this is the score, but if we hadn't had, we'll do stuff like we'll have some clarifications.
It's hard because looking at
That's a
this
good
as
point.
a
There's just
song
no
by
content to
itself,
it.
yes.
Right.
Looking at the
Yeah.
song as a song by itself and ranking the song by itself is hard. I get what you're saying, like not want to drag down the album.
we all
score,
yeah. Like I said, we'll have I'll have added caveats
Yeah.
in the wrap up when we go through
Yeah.
everything. I will go through and do some crunching of numbers so we can have caveats, because that's a good point.
Like,
But again, we're gonna have stuff like that when we have different criteria for how we are,
Right.
yeah,
which we all have different criteria. So we won't dive into it too much now. Let's stay on track. Chris, what'd you say?
I'm gonna give her 6.5.
And we just need Zach
I'm
now.
just gonna go with 6. I mean, just nice. It's just middle of the road. You know?
So BTBM, you heard us. You got to work a little harder on those instrumentals. Okay.
Just have that 45 seconds be part of Extremophile.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Just have that 45 seconds be part of Extremophile Elite.
Which would
I
only
do-
slightly take away from how fucking sick the intro of
yeah.
Extreme is.
Oh, yeah.
No, the keys coming in like, oh my, yes.
And then the guitars start doing
Yeah.
it, and it's so fucking crunchy. It's so good.
Crunchy.
I just wrote that intro, and then we start. I made tons of notes about this. We get lots of Parallax 1 callbacks,
Yeah.
Yes.
riff wise and shit
Yeah.
like that. This is so funny. There's a cool what sounds like a xylophone break,
Yeah.
and I'm reading through the lyrics, and that he sticks his head in the dirt.
Yeah.
And then the xylophone part happens. So I think it's fucking hilarious that he's like, crazy shit's going on, stick my head in the sand, and then xylophone solo.
Right.
Head in dirt equals xylophone solo. Like house on fire, like, everything's fine. This is fine.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm not okay.
So this is another, so we had Later Goes to Rest, which was 10 minutes. Autumn was a little, buck 15, and then Extreme Files 9 or 10, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a big old bad boy. We get the callback to Parallax 1, the walking into a certain state of, which is super super cool. I love shit like that. I like that
Yeah.
shit a lot.
Yeah.
Layers.
For those playing along with the storyline, we get Prospect 2 getting to the island.
Yeah, and finally meeting Prospect 1 with his head buried in the dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, just his skull is underground.
So that's fun. I really really like this song. Does anyone have anything to add other than ranks?
There's
I
some
do
slutty
not.
riffs around
I guess we could
3.
go through the lyrics real quick. See.
I love how he projects his voice when he's saying, "Carve one skin
Yep.
out of their
Oh,
own
yeah,
that's-
soul,
that is
one of my
sing
favorite lines of the
ashes
entire
throughout my
album.
body."
That's a album defining. Like when I'm thinking of this album, that's one of the
Yeah,
high
and
moments.
it's something
yeah.
they keep coming back to
Yeah.
with Prospect 1.
That's
I
really cool.
hadn't gotten this far in listening and researching the lyrics, but I definitely am liking. Right after that, it says, "It's a corpse. Something is buried where his head once lay. A note, my note. My hands shake as I fall to my knees. Slowly read. Please know I love."
So
I think they're starting to realize that they are the same person. Kind of like it's definitely giving me some butterfly effect feels.
it's giving me Nolan feels like different times. I don't know. There's a lot going on here.
There's a lot.
Some of the notes I read was acting like Prospect 1 was dead.
After just mutilating himself.
I don't know. See, my brain fucking hurts.
It's hard to keep track of.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get some.
Aesthetically pleasant to listen to.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to keep track of sometimes.
It's just so confusing because now he left a note. He left a note for his love, but somehow Prospect 1 has it. Like how that just this is the part of the story that just never made sense to me.
It's yeah.
Because Prospect 2 is from a different time. His civilization's from a different time, but he's traveled through space for so long that he's caught up to Prospect One Prospect One's.
Right, because
Time.
of what the whole time concept was Spade. Right, yeah, I
Mhm.
understand. Huh.
It's a banger of a song, though.
It is.
Oh, absolutely.
It
yeah.
really is.
There's so much context to even just the instrumentals
Oh,
and
yeah.
like throughout the entire song, and
It's dense.
oh,
There's
Yes.
a lot,
Yes.
a
Good
lot
work.
of really good stuff going on. And more fucking body mutilation. Wild. I'm gonna. I'll start us off. I give it a 9. It's a healthy banger.
Mm-hmm.
Healthy banger. Dick.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9 as well.
Chris.
I gave this one a 10 as well.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
it's
It-
deserving. It's
yeah,
a fucking. It's a unit.
Yeah, it's a
It's a
fucking
unit.
unit, brother.
I would say a 9.25.
9.25. And Brett.
I'm hitting this one with a 10. I love it.
Oh.
I absolutely love it. That intro just catches me from beginning to end.
Yeah.
That intro hits, and I go, oh, and then I'm just blown away the rest of the song.
And what does it for me is the Carve One Skin.
Carve
That
one skin out
that's
of
so
their
catchy.
own
It
is.
soul.
and then you notice it throughout the album. They go back to it.
So that brings us to a super cool part of the album.
LOL, he's British.
Yeah.
I love that picture you guys shared
Yeah.
of the Parallax track
the
listing.
breakdowns,
Yeah.
yep.
Oh, someone needs to pull that up while I talk. We got to do that for everybody.
I'll get it.
So after Extremophile, we get Parallax, which
Mm.
is a short ditty, but it is to me very powerful.
Almost spoken,
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
very
almost
powerful,
spoken
very
word
important.
poem.
Spoken word poem. This is I could probably just fucking read the lyrics. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw my astral body in space. For nights on end, I watched myself. I knew our pain was the same. Loss, self-doubt, isolation, neither constructed or taken away. We've always known our options. It was the relativity of time and space and our shared conscious which brought us together. Now we are one, two forces entwined to make a decision. This is them coming together.
Yep.
And for me, I guess like with this one, it kind of like puts that slap to me where it's just like, hey, like in a way, like Prospect 1 to Prospect 2, like one's the good, one's the evil, but they're
Oh,
forming.
yeah, you definitely have two.
You have the,
Two
you
sides
have
of
the
the
yin and
coin,
yang.
right.
You have
Yeah.
the yin and yang. You definitely have the two sides to every story, and they are
Which-
the embodiment of that.
Yeah. For all intents and purposes, I'm sure that was intentional.
It's super
Yep.
short, $1.15, something like that. I guess I can pull it up real quick. $1.15.
Nice.
Oh.
It leads into, so I say it's an interesting part of the album because it's spoken word, it's real short. It leads into another song that's also super short. It's 2 minutes.
Right.
Kind of always thought they were one song.
Mhm.
Because it all happens really fast. So let's dive through these before we get to the stupid breakdown of the songs. Parallax, I gave it a 9.1. So
Really?
I really liked it,
Mhm.
even standalone, which I've kind of said is kind of my standard. Like I would absolutely listen. Like I would listen to this anytime.
Yep.
Dick,
I'm gonna give it an 8 because there is substance there,
there is,
and and it's chill. It's nice. It's just
it's
Yeah.
helping pivot the story.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a definite turning point. Even if you don't, not even so much for the story, but it feels like it's for the album.
Yes.
This is like midway through, we're creeping into the second half of the album.
Yeah.
You definitely, that's a good way to look at it. I think with Parallax and the next song, Black Box, it's pivoting to this latter half of the album, which Telos is the next monstrous
Yeah.
song.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really dug it. Zach, what do you think about Parallax?
I liked it. I appreciate it for what it was. Albeit it was very short, but again, it's kind of not really the point of it. I gave it an 8.5.
Noise.
I I'm actually going to give this one a 9.25.
It's
I love the come soar with me.
that's Black Box.
That's what we're on, aren't we?
No,
on Parallax.
we're still on Parallax. We're still on Parallax.
Oh shoot, sorry. I
Uh,
heard us
Spoilers.
talking about Black. Sorry. Yes, sorry. I thought we were.
I made that joke too. Though I was like, I thought they were one song because
Yeah.
they feed right
So,
into each
sorry,
other.
sorry. So Black Box is going to get 9.25. Parallax, as the spoken word poem that it is, and leading into that, I'm going to go with an 8.
Chris, Parallax.
9. Solid.
Since they're both so close, we'll do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's get to this. So Black
Yeah.
Box. This is where we get Tommy again. So the spoken word was Amos Williams, in Parallax. Then Black Box, which we're getting into now.
Like
Tommy
I
comes
already
back in.
started getting
The
into.
I see all, I hear all. Build it from nothing. Let friend wing. Okay, so we. Then we get the big. We build mountains to crush oceans.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
that
built-
was
it's so-
heavy.
It goes
in
from that
2 minutes.
Super soft.
In 2 minutes,
Come
it builds up
soar with
massively
me.
to that, which
I
is a
mean,
super powerful part.
It's powerful.
And this is from the perspective of the Night Owl.
Yes, this is Night Owl perspective.
To crush
That being said, I give it 8-9. I really like Black Box. Brett has already told us what he got.
9.25.
Zach,
I'd give it a 9.25. That seems fair.
it packs a whole fuck ton into 2 minutes and 11
Yeah.
seconds.
Yes,
Yep.
it does.
Right.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
8-5. And Chris,
Another 9er.
9er. All right, time to take a little diversion from your regularly scheduled
So
programming.
we have a very crude rundown of the track listing and what the songs are about, mixed with a very crude like Microsoft Paint like image of the album art, and it says
really good.
all it says in between the two planets of the album art, it says BT Bam P2 space LOL.
I think it's just the one guy who's been making all of
Yeah.
them.
They're so
He's been
good.
doing like basically the album definitions in layman's terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's pretty spot on.
For sure.
Like, he's funny about it.
Okay, so first track, Goodbye to Everything.
This is the end of the story. Laugh my ass off.
Yeah.
Astral Body.
Wait, I forgot what the story was.
Lay Your Ghost to Rest.
Hopefully USPS delivers my letter.
God damn it. Oh, that's fucked.
That's really funny. That's really funny.
Will the right hands deliver? You should have gone FedEx.
Will the
bro.
right hand deliver what I must do?
Good lord. Okay, Autumn.
Mantra by Tool, but without the cat squeezing.
Oh, fuck.
Word. Okay, Extremophile.
Damn.
Bro, listen to that orchestra part.
Dude.
That's all in caps.
Yeah, for sure. Parallax.
This guy is from Britain.
Yeah. You right. Black Box.
Uh-oh.
That's awful.
That's so good. Tell us.
So basically, let's kill everyone.
Yep, that's right. Bloom.
Underwater Electric Boogaloo.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Underwater electric boogaloo. Yep.
That is
Queen
such a great way
C.
to put it.
Melting City.
I mean, I'm kind of an asshole.
Dude, this shit's dark.
Yeah.
Okay, Silent Flight Parliament.
Jet propulsion disengage.
Dude, it's powerful as fuck.
I love it.
And the Reprise.
The end part 2. That's
For real.
That's not as
For
funny.
real. No. Okay, that was fun. So
Out of a 15, 16 minute song, all they got was jet propulsion disengage.
that was weak. That was a little weak.
But at the same time, I get it because that's my favorite part of the song.
You could have brought up the fact that he like creeped into their room.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Could have brought that up.
Peeping Tom destroys the galaxy or something.
He peeped in the room and then decides, I'm just gonna throw their entire planet into the sun.
It's fucking extreme.
He went a bit drastic there.
He did.
But we're skipping ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So
Telos.
we have Parallax, which sees our two prospects formally entwined. Black Box is just Night Owls being dickheads. Just like we build mountains. Building
We're in
up
trouble from our
intro,
creations.
Telos, and Telos has a fucking mean intro. Comes in blistering with the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
It's a unit. It's a unit. Who wants to get us going on this? Anyone? No.
I mean, definitely hits home with the blood vessel cover, the skin suit of anxiety.
Yes.
Like, thanks,
Yeah.
bro. Way to call me out
Dude.
specifically.
For real.
Tommy said, like,
Do you feel
"Man, that
attacked?"
fucking Brett, dude. Like, welcome to his skin suit of anxiety. Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
He can be so poetic sometimes, and other times he's just gross. Fucking Tommy.
macabre. Just,
This is, as noted, the decision. This is where Prospect 2,
Decides to go on the mission.
which is yet to be defined. But again, goodbye to everything. Let's see. What else do we got here? We got a whole lot. Oh, this is the introduction of Prospect 2's wife.
The lover.
Yeah.
This is where we have the whole part of the song that's not part of the song, that's part of the story that they're telling you is part of the story that isn't part of the song.
yeah.
If
Essentially.
that made about as much sense as the part of the song.
This gets into we get perspective from Prospect 2's wife. That was I ever really alive? Which is that's good stuff. Getting into the rebirth, reborn part. That part's really good. I really like. So it's about 3 minutes in is when we slowed the fuck down because we come in fucking screaming. It slows down about 3 minutes in, and this is when we get the wife's lamenting about Prospect 2 just leaving out of nowhere.
Right.
I call it the whirly slow part. I really, really, really like it, and we do this twice. So it builds back up, and then it goes back down into like a misty valley. Like this,
Right.
That part kind of feels like to me. So we've got lots of ebb and flow in Telos. It gets real wild and frantic at the end, and bleeds right into Bloom, which has a really, really weird, cool intro too.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lyrics was "personal resets through selfish release." That really spoke to me.
That's Prospect 1.
So, does anyone else have anything to add about Telos?
I really don't have a whole lot to add.
That being said, I give it 8.4. Anyone else got any thoughts to
Go ahead,
share?
Brett.
I'm gonna hit it with a solid 8. This is a long one, and there's definitely a lot of context, but I don't think it gets that certified stamp of official banger.
Oh, it's not a banger. It's
No.
like I was saying with the where it comes in hard as fuck and then dips
Yeah.
into the "Was I Ever Really Alive" part. And that's 2 or 3 minutes. It builds up for a minute and then dives into another slow part. So half of the song is slow, kind of dreary's not the word, but kind of lulls you into a
Yeah.
It is an enjoyable song. It doesn't get that banger status for the length that it is. So I sit at a solid 8.
No, it's so dense is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
God, like with the introduction of the lover, it took me a couple times just like, okay, what the fuck is going on? For a second, I didn't even know it was anybody really. I just thought it was another figment of their conscious, since that seems to be a thing. I gave it an 8.5 though.
8.5.
I liked it musically. It was good. I will probably appreciate it more the more that I begin to understand it.
I like it more this coming through listening to it again for this. Like I said, Brett and I have been talking a whole lot about the density of the story. We kind of have somewhat different views about, like, I think the more I dive into it, it's fucking frustrating because I wanted to be as prepared as possible for this. But I don't think I like realized how many different perspectives and shit there were.
I
So
had
I find it I like it. I find it encouraging. It's like I already love this so much, and I keep finding more things to love about it. So I think as time goes on, I'll learn to love Telos even more. But
I agree with that. I agree with that. But for me, yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
what does Chris think about Telos?
I'm giving it an 8.65. It's very
Madman.
I know. Whoa. Settle down, you know?
Man.
I mean, it's like that needed song though. It's just, to me, it's just it was very well played, you know. But it's just
It's definitely
needed
its
part.
own.
Yeah.
All like there's because what did we say? There's 4 or 5 like 10-minute bangers.
Yeah.
And this one stands out
Right.
because Extremophile and Layer Ghosts are mostly heavy. I'll just say like they feel like they're mostly just fucking rocking.
Yeah.
And this song is more ebb and flow. So it stands out. Dick, what do you think?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I like the song. It's not my favorite, but I like that it's a companion piece almost to Melting City later on in the album.
I definitely am excited to talk about Melting City. That was what we call the sleeper.
Yeah.
Melting City was the sleeper for me this time through. I was like, man,
Nice.
I didn't realize how much I fucking like this song.
I've always
Yeah.
loved that song.
So, okay, I guess that gets us through to. So, like I said, Telos gets real frantic at the end, leading into a real frantic intro that is Bloom. That little piano part.
Love that part.
Yeah, that was really, really cool.
I've given this the designation of a funky banger. It's definitely
Okay.
funky.
Okay.
Underwater Electric
Okay.
Boogaloo.
That's absolutely
That
accurate.
that hits it.
Yeah.
So this is Prospect 1,
Yeah.
right before. So he's swimming to the moon, and before he gets to his island, he goes and visits Queen C.
It seems like he got dragged down. It's
Absolutely.
like he didn't visit them. He was definitely taken
Beep, bops,
captive,
tippy, tippy, tap, tap, toes.
and they're forcing him to dance underwater
What if
and
Queen
party.
C is a Selkie?
Ooh.
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 That's
We're gonna ask him. What is this? 3.5 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
a very long one.
It goes all over the place.
It really does.
Yeah.
Queen C will take you in. This is your new home now. It's such a
You're the
fun
laughter.
part. It feels like ballroom dance kind of shit. Like
Yeah.
it's just fucking. It's swanky.
Your last
It's
breath.
such a
It's
weird
swing.
little.
Definitely feels like a party.
It's swingy.
Yeah.
It's an
Yeah.
it is an I like the swing feel of it. But yeah, definitely a weird one.
It's definitely very weird. And it I wrote it melts right into Melting City.
Mhm.
yeah.
Which it totally does.
End of the song in parentheses, unsung lyrics says tentacle hearse transportation, actual happenings, or the distant mind.
I was just about to mention
It's
that. I
like,
really
did,
liked
did
that.
all this happen, or was this just him hallucinating while drifting off to sea?
You know, it's really hard telling. Did we haven't even done this. We haven't
Nope.
ranked this yet, have
Rank
we? I got excited. I gave Bloom 8.5. It's another one that the lyrics actually helped, even though it doesn't make sense with the rest of the story. Like just being like, yeah, this is what this is about. Like, it really, I like it a whole lot. It's silly as fuck. That's what.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. I like it though.
Chris.
8.4.
8.4. Wait, Dick, tell me your thoughts on Queen C.
This song gets an 8.5 for me. It's like one of my least favorites, but like I have to listen to it, and it's just no matter how like the wackiness kind of turns me off, but at the same time it turns me on to it.
Yeah.
Like it's like a train wreck. You can't look away. You got to listen to it.
It's like a train wreck.
Like you got to listen to it. Like I start as soon as I start hearing it, I'm like, man, I don't like the song, but I'm gonna listen to the whole damn thing.
It's short though.
It is.
It's a short one. Zach, what do you think?
I liked it overall. I mean, really don't have much to say about it. I mean, I gave it an 8.25. It's pretty middle of the road for me, I suppose.
Yeah. It's weird.
It is
Yeah.
weird. I really like the
Definitely.
intro, but other than that, it's just. I mean, okay, I appreciate it, but it's not something I would actively go out of my way to listen to.
Understandable.
I'm gonna hit this with an 8.5, and say that I almost forget how different it is until I get to it again.
Yeah.
Like every time I listen through this album, I'm getting through the songs, and like you've got Lay Your Ghost to Rest, you've got Extremophile, you've got even Black Box, where it's got that heavy part, and then it gets to this, and I'm like, every time I'm like, oh yeah, it does do this, and like I find myself grooving to it, enjoying it. I just kind of forget, but I don't want to say forgettable.
It's not forgettable.
It's not
I think the thing
forgettable,
is,
but it just slips my mind how like it incorporates into the actual album as a whole aesthetically.
it doesn't have a lot of ebb and flow.
No.
It feels like, and this is what my brain did, I always Telos, Bloom, and Melting City were all one. Like when the way that my brain processed it, because there's no stop, it all flows.
Yeah.
So like in my head, Bloom was always just a part of the song, not its own song.
That's fair.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
fair.
it felt like a weird middle part in between these. It's weird. It's so weird. I wonder if they wrote it all together and split it up. You know what I'm saying? Or if they wrote them all three separate and just figured out a way to mush them together. Because it just seems so like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a wonderful little ditty. It's a nice little surprise in between two fucking massive songs. Which brings us to Melting City.
This one's a cool one.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cool. This gets the it's got a real epic part. What is it? The Faceless in a Sea of Space.
So, and I'm reading the lyrics now, and I thought the lyrics were different. I always thought it was faceless in a sea of space, my propulsion from that place. But it's from their pain, not from that place.
Yeah.
Now, that made him either or makes sense. To be faceless, it's when you're basically guilty of something.
Yeah.
It's you've been caught in the act and you have no what do I do? Do I, like, obviously I've been caught in the act. Do I lie about it or just come clean? Like, but it's like you're faceless. You're showing guilt.
Devoid of
Yeah.
emotion almost.
You're like, fuck.
Right.
It's that fuck feeling.
And right after that In and Out of Profit, why would they need me for a simple confession?
Mm-hmm. I just love creep in before the rise of the sun, execute a story never told. That's the letter.
Yeah.
Do not think, just do. He's been hired. He's been hired more than likely by the Night Owls. No human emotion. You're there for the job.
Yep.
Who says I'm even human at the point? He's been doing this a while. This is the Black Mask, mind you.
Yep. Collect and destroy. Before the rise of the sun. And then halfway through the song, he's like, "What does he do? He reads it.
It says years later.
He didn't destroy it. He was supposed to get the letter and destroy it. He didn't. He just kept the letter.
Mhm.
And then years later, he reads it, and then he feels guilty.
Yeah.
He goes back.
Why did I keep this? What inside forced me to see the ink?
Where is it? I can't live with this. I must let her know. Can't live with this. Must let her know. So he wants to go back and give her the letter, and when he gets there,
It's on fire.
it's on fire.
She
So
lit the house on fire, which was in
because
Telos.
because she didn't understand what happened.
Yeah, she went mad.
Oh,
So this is one of the most straightforward ones, actually.
Yeah.
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 Melting City.
And it's wonderful. I really like this.
Yeah, I definitely love the part. The robot stepped out of his box. Foreigner in my own land. No profit. For once, no profit. The robot stepped out of his box. And then he goes on to, after the rise of the sun, conclude a story never read. So he went all these years having this ability to link these two characters together, or even return the lover to Prospect. It was Prospect 2, right?
And Prospect 2 only decides
To start destroying shit because the
Because
love of
he
his
think-
life is gone.
So
And
conclude a
he-
story never read.
he knows the love of his life is gone. He knows that the planet's gone and all that. Everything he knows is gone. But then he finds the letter and it clicks in his mind. She never read it.
Yeah.
So that's when he's like, the insanity just confirms.
So they throw in here, it didn't need to happen. This throws in, but the final fucking monstrous song before the outro explains it all. So we won't give it away just yet, but it's fucking really good stuff. Does anyone else have anything to add?
Nope.
No, it's like you said, pretty straightforward. I mean, it's just
The end of it, leading into Silent Flight Parliament, is
yeah.
we get some more like computer noises and stuff.
Mhm.
It's real eerie. I really like the way it ends too. So I gave Melting City a 9. And like I said, it was one that I appreciated more this listen through. Dick.
I'm going to give it a 9.8.
Ooh.
Ooh.
This is a lot of catchy stuff.
Yeah, I can see
You
that.
like that stuff.
I gave it a solid 9.
9?
Niner.
Niner. Brett, what do you think?
I'm at an 8.9.
8.9.
Didn't want to quite give it a 9, huh?
We all
Not
seem
quite
to
there.
be liking this one.
I like it, but it wasn't
Yeah.
quite at 9.
9 1/4.
9 1/4. Oops. I messed this up. Cool. What on earth is going on? Sorry, folks. I have this thing where I talk out loud a lot.
There it is.
Hey,
All right. So,
We've made it.
they did not. This last half of the album really just fucking slams along. What was Melting City? 9-10 minutes in the ballpark. 10 minutes. There is no rest for the wicked. Silent Flight is 15 minutes.
It really does. It really does feel like the first half of the album, up to Parallax, is so long.
Yeah.
And then you've got all these tiny little songs that are still really important and really good.
Tiny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tiny.
Yeah.
Quote unquote tiny.
But then you get into Silent Flight and everything, and you can get back into the 10-15 minutes again. Melting City,
it's just
Silent
beautiful.
Flight. But it really does feel like it takes forever to get to this end.
Okay, so we got Goodbye is short, Astral is short, Layer Ghost is somewhat long. So we're looking at maybe what? Less than 20 minutes. Then you got your little instrumental before you get Extremify, which is another 10 minutes. Two little guys, about 3 minutes between those two songs. Then you get Tell Us Bloom and Melting City. So you get smashed for another 25 minutes with no break.
Right.
And they somehow are able to. So you don't really get much of a break before diving into the last song that's 15 minutes. But the intro is super fucking powerful. It just slow the build up of the very beginning. Before it gets in, it really starts fucking rocking you. You get the it might be it's one of my top 3 favorite parts of the album, the I know what, because as you guys are very aware, I love last songs, and you're listening to this going like, this is about to pop the fuck off.
Yes.
And it
Blow
does so fucking hard.
Yeah, you
big
hear
socket wrench. Oh man.
you hear as he's saying, "I know what I must do," and then the music just starts. Like I don't know, maybe he's turning the volume on the guitar on, and it's just slowly swelling up, and it says, "I'm coming home," and that like really like telephony voice, coming home, and it's like, and then
It's
that's
just
when
home.
it boom.
It's so powerful. One of my favorite things they've ever done in their whole discography. The way he comes in with the heavy vocals right there, the fixed socket wrench, binocular vision. This is the Night Owl saying, fucking gotcha. We're the Night Owls. We see all, we hear all. All of this was this was not just these weren't circumstances of coincidence. Everything was planned.
Right.
Like, we know we could have prevented all of this. Prospect 2 wouldn't have lost his mind, but no, we sent the guy to make him lose his fucking mind. This was all just a fucking game for us.
Yes.
It's so
thanks for the
fucking
entertainment.
powerful.
The guitars are just so good when they come in.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
The
yeah.
dun, 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 dun. Oh my god, it's just it's so heavy, it's so full sounding. Every note being hit is just wonderful.
It's yeah, and that's just a fucking intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first 2 minutes. That's the
Well,
first 2
you know.
minutes. Like,
when it gets into the after the I know what I must do, the fixed socket wrench, he starts going on about I'm the night owl. It's just fucking pummeling you.
Mm.
We get back into cutting fucking more mutilation. But yeah, it's another callback. Cut out pieces to form new. I love the you aren't what you think. An experiment. They will send us to warn, and that's just part of the game as well. Fucking weaklings, just like fuck you peons. Like,
how much can
it's
we
boasting.
actually
It
screw
seems like
with
the
you?
first
It
half of
is.
like that part of the song is just the night I was going game set match, which we already know.
Ha.
Kind of
like
that,
kind of-
that to me, like the way they're thinking kind of makes me feel of Guardians of Galaxy 2, like ego.
Mhm.
Like that's
Yeah.
just egos, like trying to make himself seem good. Like I have to destroy all these things and become the one sole person to like I am the universe. Like, and that's kind of these guys. Like, yeah, we're that strong. We can do this to you. And now it's kind of just fun. Like it doesn't harm their world or their
Well,
existence. So
let's
what's
go
it
back
matter?
Let's go back to Fossil Genera, the introduction of the Night Owls on Great Misdirect.
Yeah.
They say and even the black box, we build mountains to crush oceans. Like we create these civilizations, we let them flourish, and and when we decide it's time for them to die, they're gonna die.
Yep.
We lead them to their own doom.
Yep. It's
It's a conspiracy, man.
it's fucking wild, bro.
Yeah.
Conspiracies.
Really weird that they would drive someone like
Yeah, I like-
cut their face up. And
I really like the lines or the stanza even. He is found and I will drag him to his end. It's not selfish if it's what's right. He knows I'm looking for him. This thievery is for the bettering of all humankind, so it seems.
He's talking about Prospect One there. He's
Mhm.
talking about fucking killing Prospect One.
Shit.
Like, yeah.
You get
Why is it selfish if it's what's right? Like if I have to do this, why is it selfish of me? Why am I questioning this?
the creeping before the rise of the sun is so powerful. It slows it the fuck down, and this is when he's creeping into their fucking room. Oh no, we've already burnt the place down. No, we're doing it right here.
Yeah.
Open
they
the
were
valve,
doing it
fill the
here.
room.
Yep.
It's so good. It's such a weird. Weird's not the word. It's creepy. It's fucking creepy.
Or eerie.
Eerie.
Eerie's a good word.
Everything. Yeah.
It's really, really, really cool. And that's only fucking 8 minutes in.
Holding each other like it's the last. They're sleeping, holding each other like it's the last. I love
and
that.
It is. Before going into the super powerful Am I Me, Seek the Day, Never Again, Wait, Listen, and See. Just there's so much.
This is
Good
really
shit.
this is really is between the Buried and Me, like in their progressive style. Like it's long. They have the heavy parts, but then they get into this weirdness of like, where are we actually going with this? And then they wrap it up perfectly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because once you get into, there's just so much. Once you get into the jet propulsion disengage is so
I love
final.
that part.
Oh yeah.
It's
the
so
heavy,
like
just the boom, boom, boom drums.
Yeah,
at the
it's
end,
not-
like, it's
yeah.
the constant pounding of the drums. The one note they keep strumming on the guitar. To where it's like, it really just it starts off slow and just keeps building up and up and up and up, and I love that.
Eyes open to the sound of laughter, like a mighty god casting his spells on the world below. World below, the man is me. It's I mean, of course, we got a pretty nasty guitar solo in there, of course. and it there's so much ebb and flow, like which I really like. Like they do a little bit of that with White Walls, where like it could be the end of the song, and they're like, no, and then come back in and kick your ass again.
Like,
I feel
just
like they do
kidding.
that 2 or 3 times with this song, where it's like, yeah, oh, we're coming back with another one, and
Another one.
I love it. One of my favorites. I give it a 10. Just
I
thorough unit of a song.
I also fully agree.
Giving it that 10.
Yep.
It's one of the best. I know it's not the last song, but it's the last.
That's the last song.
It's
yeah.
the last song.
It's one of the best.
It's the last song.
Yeah, I think it's on. I know "Swim to the Moon" is pretty fucking epic, but I think in my mind, I think I'd probably go White Walls, Silent Flight, Swim to the Moon.
I'm gonna agree with that.
Those are the concepts. So, if you want to include Lunar Wilderness, I guess I'd probably put Lunar before. I don't know. Swim to the Moon's pretty epic.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my favorite of all the songs, but it's really epic as a final song.
Oh yeah.
It is very epic as a last song, as you
Yeah.
put.
All right, Dick, what do you think of Silent Flight Parliament?
This song's amazing. Just
Yeah.
start to finish, the dun 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 dun, and then it go. And then once it finally kicks in with that huge guitar part at the beginning, and then everything, and then the jet propulsion disengage. Oh my god! Like
Yeah.
talk about like one of the catchiest parts of the whole
Then he
album.
comes back in screaming the goodbye.
Yeah,
everything.
and then-
It's so good.
Well, yeah, I was gonna get to that. Like when he starts screaming goodbye to everything, like fuck, this is an ending, and this is a 10. This is my 10.
Dude, good. Gird. Zach,
10. No regrets.
really? No regrets. Brent, ruin it.
10.
Oh, wow. We did it.
Ooh.
We did it.
Ding ding ding
We
ding
got a
ding ding
perfect
ding
song on
ding.
this album.
I think it's well deserved.
I
It
agree.
is. It is.
Yeah.
In my little weak heart, I was hoping everyone would love Layer Ghost as much. I don't. Between the two,
I'd actually go to Layer Ghost first.
I think
Yeah,
I
I
like
would
Layer
go to-
Ghost more, but
Yeah.
Silent Flight, the intro itself, just it's so fucking powerful. It's so fucking
Yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm.
They really, looking at like the album scores and other stuff, it's like it's a little disappointing. I was like, man, I really thought I was gonna. I thought this was gonna be really highly rated, but I kind of can't lie about I didn't give a fuck about Autumn. I can't help it. Okay, so
I mean, yeah.
then we've got lest we forget the Goodbye to Everything reprise.
Yeah.
Where it's just melodic and he just says goodbye to every.
I love the super bluesy solo intro.
You're right. That is in that. That's
Yeah.
not the end. That bluesy solo is sick as fuck. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's what starts it off.
See, because
I'm trying to piece- I'm trying to
they both
piece
go
it- I
together
can't-
so well. I guess my
I
mind
can't
just
hear it in my head right now. I'm trying to
I
hear
see.
it. I can't
it's
hear.
fucking- it's really
Yeah,
cool.
I can't quite place it either.
It's I mean it works. It works
that
totally as an
beautiful
outro
blues
for.
footage, for like half a second. Give me a little clip of the tunage, and I will know exactly because I never pieced it together. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I forgot that was at the end. Okay, let me
See, I just thought that
You
was
guys
part
talk.
of.
Let me
I just
think.
thought that was part of Silent Flight. Like I just thought that was part of Silent Flight.
Yeah, I guess I never
Yeah.
really noticed that myself either.
But yeah, they do that. They definitely do that. That I'd even call it sexy. Just yeah.
I think why
Just twangy almost.
to go back to Silent Flight real quick. I think the only reason that song really sticks out in my memory from before this is because watching Nick play Beat Hazard on his PlayStation 3
Nice.
Silent Flight Parliament for 15 minutes.
Totally need to play that game again.
Dude, we need to find it. Beat Hazard was sick. All right, so went back and looked a little bit. I'm gonna give it 2 full points up. I'm gonna get 8.5.
Oh,
That is a fucking awesome little solo that Paul does right there. I think it's Paul. I gotta stop doing that. Dusty, I love you, my dog. Sorry if I don't give you enough credit. Where are we at here? Dick.
I'm gonna give it 8.5. This is a song.
It's a song.
it's a song.
That solo's sick. I'm glad you
Yeah.
reminded me of that.
Me too.
'cause
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it a 7, I guess. I was only gonna give it a 6, but I guess that
I'm gonna go.
Little
I'm gonna
addition.
go a clean 8.
And Chris.
7.75.
Excellent. So, really, one of my favorite albums for sure. Just so dense. It's
a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I think it's the best display of their musicianship. I really
Today.
love Colors.
Uh,
And I think I still like Colors more, but I think that this shows you everything that they can do and everything that they're capable of.
At one point,
That's
this
accurate.
was my favorite, but then I listened to Colors.
Yeah,
well,
and then
that
Colours
changed
happens.
everything.
and see, this is why, 'cause like you said, it's one of my favorite albums throughout all of this too, and it's just, man, that's why that day I said, can I just rate the whole album and not just each song,
Right.
because it's just like, oh man, because like throughout going through each song, I just, when you see like those scores at the end, where it's just like, it just doesn't seem
It deserves
justified.
more.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't seem justified.
That's exactly what Dick said earlier. I don't want to rate this low
So
to
we're
ruin
gonna
the album.
Don't worry, we're gonna work on
And
it.
it's-
We're gonna make it look nice.
But it's one of those
Um,
things
the
where you can't
algorithm a
have
little
one
bit.
What
without the other in
But
this
if you
album.
if you think about like Colors and stuff, like the instrumentals and the intros and stuff, like there's they have
They
it feels like
include
there's
it in the songs.
yes
Right.
that, and like it does feel like you said Thought, Parallax, Black Box, Tellus, Bloom, kind of is all just one.
When this is all done, I want you to take out all the scores for Autumn and see what the score would be for.
Yeah,
whole
I'm gonna do shit
album.
like that. Yeah,
I
for
want to
sure.
see what that would be without the Autumn score,
Yeah,
because Autumn's really not. It's not a song. I don't even think it's rankable.
Yeah, it doesn't. Right, there needs to be a curve. That being said, it's still
Yeah.
number 4. Let's see. So
Four in a
our
fucking
ranking goes Colors in first, Parallax 1
Oh.
in second, Great Misdirect in third, and then Parallax 2's in fourth.
Which
So-
that's some good company.
oh yeah,
Right.
That's some really
Yeah.
good
that's
company. to come
really
on.
cool that Parallax 1 is above Great Misdirect, barely. It's only by like 0.1, so I'm really glad you guys love Parallax 1 as much as I do. It's
Yeah.
The thing,
Beautiful.
I could see the reason why the algorithm would do that, or the math would do that, is because we only have 3 songs to
Sure,
rank,
sure.
and
but
but they're
if it was
all
a shit
fucking
EP,
amazing.
yeah, right,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
exactly.
just
fucking
nailed
amazing.
it.
So
I think that'll change if Autumn gets taken
Oh,
out.
I think
like if you deleted them right now, so what we had 6.5, 6.6, 6.6, 6.5. So we could go back through and reenter those. You
oh
deleted-
no.
There we go.
Noise in space. 8.7. So
Okay, so that dropped it down.
no.
No,
Well,
it
because
raised it up. It was
because
8.5.
Oh, okay, yeah,
countiness.
sorry.
Okay.
So yeah. I love it.
I love
I
this album
absolutely
too.
love it.
I love it.
Yes.
Like I said, to the first album that I really, really like, when I was into them already, I was like, next thing comes out is Parallax 1. Tight, sick. It's a concept album. Next one's gonna be a full length. Fucking sick. I remember as a fan, and even more so today. Absolutely yes.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
nailed it.
Yes.
And it's unfortunately, this is fun fact I'm coming upon now. So next would be Coma, and I didn't exactly have the same feeling. Still love it, but like I listened to Parallax 2 one time, and I'm like, this is the greatest thing they've ever done ever. And unfortunately, I don't get that. I don't get that past this. Although I still love.
I'm
everything they
excited now that we're done with Parallax 1 and 2, because that was familiar territory. That was the only familiar territory I've had besides Alaska, a couple songs. So moving forward, it's all completely new for me, and I'm very excited moving forward.
I've said it once and I'm gonna say it again. I really think you're gonna like Coma.
Okay,
I think that one is gonna strike home for you.
cool.
That's just my personal opinion and how I know you like your music. I think Coma's gonna do it for you.
I appreciate you knowing me.
All of our scores
know
are pretty
you.
close on this one.
They really
Our
are.
overalls.
Will it beat Colors for me though? That's
No,
gonna be the
no,
trick.
I
'Cause I
don't
love
think-
Colors.
I don't think it will, because I think you'll like the heaviness
Absolutely
of Colors
not.
more. This one just has a totally different feel between Colors
Mhm.
and Coma.
Much
And
softer.
yes,
Cool.
but he does his clean vocals amazingly throughout the entire album, and I think that's gonna catch you. So, just
Cool.
personal
Sweet.
opinion.
looking forward to it.
Any more final thoughts on the Parallax II future sequence?
No,
Ready
I
to
think
listen
that
to it
about
again?
sums it up.
It's a unit.
Yeah,
It
definite
is a solid
unit.
fucking
It is
unit.
a fucking unit.
I really hope that the story's over, but is it?
Oh, it's not.
Is it?
Let's see. I hope there's a Parallax 3.
That'd
someday.
be wild.
Someday.
Whoa.
They'd have some fucking. They would need
Or
to
at
step
least-
their game up.
Bring the Night Owls back in some way.
Oh yeah.
Somewhere down the line. If they haven't
Right.
already. I mean, I haven't looked at the lyrics to Automata.
I think there's only one person that
Automata.
could take down the Night Owls.
Redneck Lord.
Redneck Lord.
The Redneck Lord.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, boys, if you don't do that, I will. I think that's a good stopping point. Thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. Make sure you're sharing and liking this shit. We want people to check this shit out because it may not be your cup of tea, but I think we're showing that there's a lot to digest. There's something for everyone here. I've been Nick. I've got Dongo, Chris, Zach, and Brett with me. We had a great time. We'll see you next time on another episode of Rank 'Em All Between the Buried and Me edition.
Hell yeah. Jesus.
Bye, guys.